Can say they have a laundry list of problems with the president's opening bid in budget talks to avoid the so-called fiscal cliff. Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz serves on the House Budget Committee and joins me now. The president was campaigning today, in campaign mode certainly, and basically what the Democrats, what the White House are saying is that this is what the American people voted for. All of the exit polls show that there is strong support. More than 60% of the voters support tax increases for the wealthy. So how do you counter that?
Well, the president also said he was for a balanced approach, and what we haven't seen is what is the other side of that balance. The president said he was going to help curb back the debt and tackle this deficit. Instead, the president has the gall to actually go out and suggest that we should get rid of the debt ceiling votes and take away Congress's ability to help put a lid on that. Essentially, he wants a limitless credit card. That is a non-starter for us over here in the House of Representatives, and the president should share with us what he thinks he should be cutting. Not just 10, 20 years out in advance. What are we going to cut in year one? That's what I want to hear from the president.
Well, I want to talk about the $400 billion and what you think needs to be more specific in that. But let's talk about the debt ceiling for a second, because the debt ceiling is not more money. It is raising the level to accommodate what Congress has already appropriated. So it's not an unlimited spend, credit card. And most serious economists think that it is an unnecessary act. Why not review the bidding on just how that debt ceiling should be used? Because it's used as a shotgun to the head of either party, either president.
Look, there's got to be some limit to the debt that we're putting forward in this country, and I believe that we should have that discussion. In the past, it's driven the debate and the discussion about our out-of-control debt. We're paying more than $600 million a day in interest on our national debt. We deficit spend between $3 and $4 billion a day. Now, if the president wants to raise taxes on the wealthiest Americans, that's going to help handle a couple of days, literally days worth of our problem. But how are we going to solve the overall thing? And if we aren't going to tackle entitlements and we're not going to cut spending, then you're going to have trouble getting through the House of Representatives, because we're committed to those principles. We've got to tackle and make the difficult choices.
What about his $400 billion in Medicare? Is your problem with it that it's not specified? Do you want to see a more specific laundry list, or do you have to produce a laundry list before he's going to come up with his? Is this a giant game of chicken?
Well, and that's what's unfortunate. That's what I think the party should be sitting at the table. I think Speaker Boehner is on the absolute right track. I think he's shown a willingness to be able to talk about things that we haven't been able to talk about before, and they need to sit down and go to hash this out. There's nothing like a deadline to drive these types of decisions. What should happen is, this should be happening right now. What I think will actually happen is it'll probably happen at the very end of the year, right before the deadline. Deadlines drive action, but yeah, I want to get to the specificity that we all need.
Congressman, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And up next, we'll talk to Judy